We're going to start the programme in the southeast of Lebanon, where the country's information minister is calling the killings of 3 journalists there a war crime. Their deaths took place after an Israeli airstrike hit a compound in the Hasbaya region, housing employees of several media outlets. The journalists were reportedly there covering the Israel Lebanon war. Local media has aired footage from the scene showing collapsed buildings and cars marked press covered in dust and rubble. Well, let's get more on this with our correspondent Norris Trent, who is in the city of Tyre in southern Lebanon for us. It's great to have you, Catherine. What do we know about this strike that has killed the journalists?
We're getting more information about this strike that happened overnight. It killed 3 journalists and injured others. They were working in Hasbaya in the southeast of the country in a building housing other journalists, which was known as a centre where the press would stay. We've been actually speaking to some of their colleagues who are here in Tyre in southern Lebanon. Of course, they're in a state of shock. They said the journalists always wore bulletproof jackets with press markings, their cars as well, but this happened overnight while they were sleeping. They are also saying that the journalists received no warning, and this really highlights the danger of covering this war. Of course, we've seen many journalists, Palestinian journalists killed in Gaza, and there have also been, previous journalists killed and severely injured here, covering the Israeli airstrikes on southern Lebanon and the conflict between Israel and Hezbollah. The information minister said that this constitutes a war crime. That's the information minister of Lebanon. And so, at this early stage, they're looking into the exact circumstance. But you can imagine the shock that it has sparked throughout Lebanon and throughout the people reporting on it here, because they're taking huge risks. There are a lot of strikes going on across the country, in the south, in the Bekaa Valley in the east, in the capital Beirut in the southern suburbs, and also in the north, so pretty much anywhere. And Israel has placed evacuation orders on around a quarter of Lebanese territory. That's according to the UNHCR. And so a lot of people tell us they really don't feel that anywhere is safe.
Yeah, really chilling attack taking place in the southeast of Lebanon. I want to zoom in on where you are in Tyre. Tell us about the situation there.
Yeah, Tyre is one of the biggest cities in southern Lebanon, and we're here reporting just a couple of days after huge strikes, 6 huge Israeli airstrikes hit this southern port city, and the pictures went around the world of large plumes of smoke rising above buildings. We've been to visit the bomb sites of those residential areas ourselves today, and we've seen the extensive damage there. They were residential buildings in a Hezbollah supporting area. We met some of the residents whose houses had been destroyed. They did get an evacuation warning from the Israeli authorities a couple of hours before, so early in the morning on Wednesday. They evacuated to here, to nearer the seafront, and then of course watched as those bombings took place. And some of them have been returning to those homes to pick through the rubble of their homes, and you can see all kinds of belongings, the children's clothes and shoes, people's fridges still full of food. So, Israel says it was attacking Hezbollah targets, but there were clearly also people living in these buildings. Tyre used to be a city before the war with a population of around 125,000. A lot of people have fled because of those bombings and those evacuation orders and the violence here in southern Lebanon. And yet some people do still remain. They don't want to leave. And you've got other people who've come here, who've been displaced from further south, some of them now looking to hit the roads again and try and get to safety, although people are very unsure in this current climate where they can be safe.
Norris Trent, our correspondent reporting there in Tyre. Thanks so much for that, and continue to stay safe. We'll be, of course, crossing over to Catherine.